What's up, guys? Vernon here. I thought I'd try out this YouTube channel thing and see how much fun I can actually have making videos for you guys. My primary goal for YouTube right now is going to be looking mainly at the maintenance of the bike, and we will work into doing more riding videos. Of course, this is my bike here. It's a 2022 CRF 250R. Of course, you already see I have a little bit of work I've done to the engine. I have some Cerakote painted here. I got the Boysen Super Cooler to keep the water temps down. Also have that color match to the Cerakote here on the head. I got some black Cerakote here. Some small stuff I've done here and there. But we'll go through that. We'll do a bike review eventually. Today we're going to talk about fixing a leaking fork seal. It's something that happens more often than you think, and you may not realize it until you get back to your house and you have your bike sitting in the garage and you got an oil stain on your garage floor. Now, this is usually caused by dirt getting up inside past the initial seal protector on your fork and actually sitting at the seal, and it causes oil to leak down the inner tube of the fork. This is an easy fix if you have the right tools for it, and I'll show you how to take care of this quick and easy. This will be my first video of a long series of maintenance, and hopefully y'all enjoy and see how this goes. Alright guys, let me show you this. This is where my bike sits normally, right here by this window. You can see right there is a big oil stain from it'd be my right fork leaking. And if you look here on the fork, you can kind of see a little bit of stains here. You can see how it runs down where the bugs are kind of stuck to it, just sitting here in the garage. And you can see it just kind of runs off the bottom of the fork there. It's a quick and easy fix. And before we get started, I want to show you what tools you need. It's my toolbox. I don't have everything set up in this toolbox yet. I'll do a toolbox review and show you how to set up your toolbox if you want to have a similar setup to mine. The main thing you're going to need is a seal mate from Motion Pro. I got this from Rocky Mountain ATV MC. It's about I'm guessing it's about 20 mil thick, maybe a little bit thinner. Just a piece of plastic. It's real flimsy. This is like the ideal tool to clean your seals. You're gonna need this, and then depending on how your fork guards are attached, mine have these Allen screws here. I got one here, one there, and then one on the back here. On your bike, it may be a little different. It may have some hex head bolts like this, but we need to take this fork guard off first, and then we can get to the seal, and I'll show you how to get access to that. All right, first things first, I'm gonna get this fork guard off. Make sure you find the right size, of course. Now, on this bike, this inside bolt right here is a little tough to get to with the wheel on, but it is possible. So I'll show you how I get to it. It's not the best for the screws. You have more of a risk of stripping out the head of these little Allen screws, which I wish they would have put hex head, but I understand the small head size here for close tolerance right here, so you don't have anything hitting. But yeah, we'll just take these screws out, and then I'm sure on the Hondas every year, I want to say it's 22 up to the current 2025, should be the same build. Of course, this is going to be specific to your bike. So follow your maintenance manual if you have one. You usually get a manual when you get your bike. It's like a light maintenance manual. It gives you kind of a quick rundown of some things you may have to do on your bike. It doesn't go quite into detail, especially on the engine. So if you don't have a maintenance manual, just like an owner's manual, that'll be enough to kind of show you what you have to do to get these parts off and kind of what it takes. Now, this one, you can get it kind of loose, and then you can get it off by hand. Just gotta play with it. I touched that fork, so I got oil on my fingers right now. But once I get this off, I'll show you how to get access to that seal on this fork. This side is much easier to get to, just because you don't have the brake on this side. If you had to do the seal on the left-hand fork, you'd have to take off the brake guard and you have to fight around the brake disc getting this inside bolt off. This side is much easier to get off. I'm kind of glad it was this one that was leaking. So you get that off. Now, what I like to do is, you have all this oil on here. I don't like to clean it right away. It's not a bad idea, but once we start putting this tool inside that seal, we're gonna have even more oil run down. I'm just trying to limit how much I do before I get into this. So if you look on this seal right here, there's a little spring. Don't worry about this snap ring right here on the fork itself. You're looking for this seal guard. It's more like a scraper right here. But yeah, if you look, this is a Showa suspension setup. I'm sure you have to look at your manual and see how yours is set up, but it should all be similar. There's a little spring that just wraps around this seal, or the scraper rather, and it just kind of comes off like that. We'll clean that up before we put it all back together. And then this part is a little tricky, because this seal, it's flexible right here, but up here where it sits against the fork, it's a little tight. So you just have to get a nice small flathead screwdriver and kind of work your way inside there. And you just want to be careful not to damage it too much, and just work your way around, working this scraper down. Come on. Yeah, if you can find one little spot and get it just down a little bit, you can work your way around. I don't know if you can see that, but there's oil coming out behind this right now. Another indication that this is the one that is leaking. And just put it inside that gap and give the screwdriver a little twist. So put it inside there, twist it, and it comes down. It's a good snug fit on this. Once it comes off, you just slide it down. You saw how that stain got wiped away. This is your main protection for your seals inside the lower part of your Aller cylinder here. Now, here comes the nifty tool, SealMate. Now the SealMate comes with instructions. I have mine taped to the top of my toolbox lid, just in case I ever forget how to use a little piece of plastic. And it's just the way my mind works. I'm an aircraft mechanic by trade, so I do anything I can to make sure I know what I'm doing and make sure I can do it right every time. So you just want to slide it up past the seal, there. See the oil coming out there, and just work your way around, all the way around your fork, trying to keep that little hook on there above the seal. And you come back around, keep moving forward, and as you pull it out, it's going to come out all oily, so you want to wipe that off. And we'll wipe down the fork above this seal really well. You can even use some contact cleaner to make sure it's really clean. Just be careful what cleaner you use. If you want to risk damaging this seal, you can use isopropyl alcohol. Get that at any convenience store. Walmart has it. It's going to be in the pharmacy section at Walmart, but most gas stations actually have some kind of in their generic aisle. It's a good all-around thing to have in your toolbox or your chemical box for track days. It's a good all-around cleaner, and it dries really quick. I use contact cleaner. It's mainly used for electrical contacts, but it's such a good, it just evaporates so quick, and it cleans so well. It's amazing how well that stuff cleans. I use that for just about anything on the bike I need to clean, especially when I go back to, if I have to undo a plug of some sort, I'll take the contact cleaner, spray the plug it back in, and it works great. So now we're gonna get some rags, clean this up, reinstall our scraper here, and then we'll clean below it, and we'll scoot the zip tie back up. I use these zip ties here to kind of help me with suspension setup. So if you put a little zip tie on your forks, I only have one on this side. It kind of lets you know how much travel your forks are actually moving. So we'll slide this back up when we're done too. That way next time I go out, I can use that to kind of tune my suspension. Let's get this cleaned up and we'll come back to it. Alright, so when you clean these forks off, you want to make sure you have a nice clean new rag. And I always like to come in behind here and kind of wrap it and just wrap around. You can get inside there close to that seal as well, because that's where some of that dirt is. If that dirt gets past that scraper that's here on the bottom here, and it'll work its way into that seal. Just give it a good little wipe. Pick up all that oil as you can. If you want to, you can take it and wipe the top of this scraper. It's a good idea, because if you look on the side here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's dirt that's kind of got inside this seal, or inside this scraper. You want to wipe that off best you can, get it nice and clean. Just mitigate, you can see how dirty that was. Mitigate any more damage to that seal. And now the dirt getting in here is not really damaging the seal, it's just kind of keeping it open. It can damage it depending on what gets up there. My guess is this is just a little bit of sand from the track that I ride at. It's kind of a sandy track. But yeah, so once you get it wiped down, you don't have to worry about putting cleaner on it per se, because it's mainly just clean oil coming from your forks. You want to try to push this in evenly. Get it all the way up there. And you can see, as I move that scraper up, it pulled some of the dirt that was down below it off. It's just nasty, nasty, like red, sandy clay. You just wipe off as much as you can on that, because if you already have dirt here before you go ride, you might have the same issue at the start of your ride day. You just want to make sure you get all this off, get it as clean as possible. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to grab another clean rag and I'll fold it up. That's just the way I do things. Here's my QD electronic cleaner. It's a contact cleaner. I don't like to spray directly on the fork. I'll spray a good bit on the rag. You can kind of see it. It's kind of drying up pretty quick. Just take it and give it a good clean. Now remember, we still got to put that spring on that scraper. So I tried to go all the way down. And you can use the same rag, just fold it over. It's still wet on this side. What I'll do is take this spring, kind of pinch it between my fingers and try to pull it through and kind of clean the spring up best I can. It's easy. This is a real easy fix, and I'm not editing down this video just so you can see how long it actually takes. It's not really a big job, and that spring just pops in there real easy. That's just there to kind of retain, keep pressure on that scraper to give you less likely a chance of it picking any mud up and actually causing this issue. It's not a guarantee, but it's just one extra barrier protection to help prevent that and keep it from leaking worse than what it had. Now we got that clean, we'll slide this zip tie up about halfway. And clean up down here best we can. And of course you get all the bugs and stuff we got down here in Louisiana. So they just attract to that oil. They just flying around. I guess they just run into it and they get stuck in that oil and die. And you have these bugs just sitting on the backside of your fork. It looks horrible. Get a little bit more contact cleaner here. At the bottom of the fork, good clean wipe. Wipe off the backside, of course. We don't want any excess, just so it doesn't make any more mess. So we can kind of keep an eye on it and make sure that we did get that piece of sand or whatever it was under that seal out. And normally, on your seal saver, you can actually see the sand you pick up from cleaning it out. It catches a lot more than you think it does. Yeah, so we got a nice clean bike here, and all that's left to do is put our fork guard back on, and we're ready to ride. Now, another good tip, something I like to do is, when you take a part off your bike, this is all dirty and everything, it's got some mud on it where I couldn't get to it with a pressure washer because it's behind the tire and whatnot. There's also got all that oil sitting right here from when it was leaking out of the fork. Take the rag, you just clean it. This one's a little dirty, but we'll go use the clean side of it. Give it a good little wipe down. Of course, it's becoming spring here, so we got pollen everywhere. The bike is filthy. I hate that pollen. I can't stand that stuff. Keep you sneezing. But yeah, we'll get this cleaned up. And we'll just slide it on like that. Get it slid down. Start putting our screws back in. There's 3 screws on this fork guard for this Honda. Again, for this step, your application or your bike is going to be a little different from mine. Of course, the suspension setup matters too. These are Showa shocks. This is the stock suspension for this bike. Like I said, this inside one, you want to kind of like just work it down by hand as much as you can. There is Loctite on these screws. It's a little green Loctite. It doesn't really break off whenever you loosen the screws up. And I've never had one of these back off while riding. That's not to say that it can't back off. I've never had one. Get it kind of snug. There is a torque in your manual for these bolts. I don't have the exact maintenance manual for this bike, but you just get them the German torque, which is good and tight. They will not go anywhere. Now you don't want to over tighten it to where you either strip out your lower fork end or the screw itself. You're probably more likely to strip out the fork than this, and then that becomes more of an ordeal where you have to get either a new fork cap or get a helicoil installed in that hole, change the bolt size. But there you go. We got the fork guard back on. We're going to watch it for the next couple of days to make sure we got the leak fixed. I'm pretty confident it's not going to leak on us anymore. Got our zip tie moved up for the next time we go out. And that is how you fix a leaking seal on a fork. Alright guys, hope y'all like that tech tip. This is going to be a recurring thing for me. Hopefully I can do a weekly video. That's the plan. I can't guarantee that. I already have a busy life, and the YouTube thing is just something I'm doing for fun. But I'm going to try to keep to either a weekly or a bi-weekly basis for these videos. Couple of cool things I have coming up for the bike. I actually have a new set of plastics and graphics for the bike. So this is the way the bike looks now. We'll do a before and after as well before we get the graphics on. So the next video is probably going to be showing you guys how to wash a bike, a real quick wash with a pressure washer, and then go into what you do as soon as you finish washing the bike. I'll try to get that video up possibly next week. We'll see how that goes. What we'll do is I'm going to do an overview on all the parts that I'm going to put on the bike and try to walk you through putting them all on, making sure I'm as detailed as possible. So if you get these parts or get the idea to do a whole new graphics kit, you'll know exactly what to do. You don't have any stress about putting graphics on. I know a lot of people have issues sometimes making them stick or not getting them straight the way they want them and having to trim them. But what we'll do is I'll break down everything we can do. Of course, it's going to be a lot different. I'll show you that graphics kit and the plastics whenever I get everything in at the same time. We'll do a quick overview of what we're going to put on the bike. Of course, we got have the Moto Academy edition. A little dirty here because of the pollen. Phoenix handlebars. This is a 800 millimeter bar. I want to say my bends are 50-90 or the way around, 90-50, whichever way you want to do it. Very comfortable bend, has enough room to put my controls this far in like I like them. It's just the way it works with technique, especially with training with the Moto Academy. Of course, you see I have a VIP sticker there for the class we had in Kentwood. But move the controls in as far as you possibly can to get your hands in the triangular position, keep your elbows up. We're going to do grips, plastics, seat cover. Got a RJ wing seat from Guts Racing coming. I'm gonna have the TMA graphics. I got a new set of pegs, and I'm trying to think what else. Should be it for now. We're going to do new chain and sprocket setup. I'm going to change the gearing a little bit, kind of explain how that works as well in a video. But yeah, plenty of cool things coming. Hopefully you guys like it, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a quick one, but there's just some small stuff I think everybody should have the right to know about their bike and how to fix it. They're not freaking out about their oil coming out of their fork. It's a quick fix, easy fix, and very inexpensive. So catch you guys on the next one. I'll see y'all later.